Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me today on this sad day. We are here to celebrate the life, career, and everything about Aubrey Drake Graham, better known as Drake professionally. He was a soldier, a warrior, a guy who put his life on the line in a battle, in a tough battle, who stood on the front line and held his ground. But in the end, he only took so many shots. And sadly, he succumbed to his wounds. And now we're here remembering the guy, the mogul, the pop artist, the hip hop artist, known as Drake. So I would just like to say, in memory of Drake, let's all raise our glasses. I don't have a glass, but let's cheers. Give him his flowers. He will be sadly missed. Really will be sadly missed. But all jokes aside, honestly, let me cut on some lights. Now that's more like it. So, yeah, this was a battle for the ages. I know everyone like me probably feel highly exhausted about everything that's happening. But I think at this point, Drake fans are taking it harder than most to basically sit with the fact and feel like just have to accept the fact that Drake is no longer the rapper that they thought he was. He can no longer claim that number one spot. And I had a little while to sit on it. So if you haven't seen my review, definitely check it out. I still have those same sentiments. What I liked about it, the beat, I love the execution of the lyricisms, the rhyme schemes, and like the storytelling that he was doing in there. I loved all of that. I felt like he came in there, he was on business. What I have a big problem with is the content and everything that he talked about in there. Because the one problem that everybody is overlooking is that when you're looking at everything that he's saying in there, a lot of it still unproven. He doesn't have receipts for it. Especially the main thing that he was started off basically, getting at was the fact that he planted evidence. He planted stuff for Kendrick to have and use against him that was fabricated. Him having a daughter and all that stuff and the whole medication and everything else, that was Drake's plan all along. The thing about that is that there are certain things that don't make sense. If you sincerely placed evidence, if you sincerely worked with people to feed Kendrick this stuff to make him look stupid, on the surface it does. But when you really, on the surface it sounds good. But when you really think about it, does it? I mean, if everything was false that you gave Kendrick, if you gave him this information and you're spinning that narrative that, you threw him off the trail, like this is your plan in the beginning, why don't you have receipts for it? It's one thing to claim something. It's another thing to bring receipts. Wouldn't you think that you would have pictures, you would have some video evidence, audio and visual, that you would have some screenshots or something proving that this was a setup for Kendrick to carry on and run with? Now I get and I understand, like I said before, that my problem with both sides is that they both are having accusations and claiming stuff that are unproven. No receipts for a lot of things. And this was one of them. He claims that he set this all up for Kendrick, but it's like, where's the proof? Wouldn't you think that if you're putting out a record saying that you set it all up, wouldn't you want the rollout of that record to include that? Maybe the cover, instead of having it be a comment under like Dave Free commenting under Kendrick's wife's picture, wouldn't you have evidence a part of that? Wouldn't you put out like a video? Maybe have somebody edit a video together that has the evidence on there, or put it out on your Twitter, your IG. It's none of that. He has no proof, no receipts, no evidence as of yet to prove that this was a setup. And the thing is that I'm looking at is that a lot of the stuff like this, particularly, a lot of people were saying beforehand. A lot of Drake fans were sitting there thinking, were saying on Twitter that, oh, well, you know, he fed this to him. He deliberately gave this information, this false information, because he wanted Kendrick to look stupid. Then Drake comes out with a record claiming that same exact thing. Now, coincidence? Possibly. I'm not saying that it is. I'm not saying that I believe Drake. I'm not saying I don't believe Drake. But it's certain things when you look at how everything coincide with each other, that's one thing that Drake needs to prove. And like I said, I believe Kendrick needs to prove stuff on his side. If Drake has an 11-year-old daughter, bring the proof. If Drake is a PDF file, bring the proof. Like, everything like that. All these accusations going around, it needs to be proven. And it's like, I'm just looking at this stuff and I'm just like, yeah, these guys, they, like Drake, he had a major misstep when it came to this. A major misstep when it came to this. And the one thing that I can point out, and like I said in my other video, was that the whole PDF file stuff, there's no concrete evidence that Drake is that, but you do have Millie Bobby Brown, Billie Eilish, both saying when they were underaged that they were good friends with Drake, who was nearing 30 or in his 30s, who texting back and forth with them. Now, a lot of people might look at him and be like, oh, well, you know, maybe he was just giving that like that. The thing is that when you have a person that's 30-something years old, texting back and forth, saying I miss you and all that stuff to a minor, if that's not a kid that you're a friend, like not friends, but close with, as far as family member, or let's say you're a friend of the family and you look at that kid as like your uncle to them or a big brother to them, then you could be like, okay, cool. Why? That's why you would have the number texting back and forth with you. I miss you, stuff like that. It could be simply just what it is. It's love as like a brother, as like a family member. Nothing more from that. I'm sorry, I gotta sneeze. But to have a friend that's a minor, it says a lot. It says a whole lot. It has a lot of questions behind it. And Drake needs to address it, which he kind of did, but he kind of didn't. And he's saying all the stuff, like I said, like a lot of this stuff I'm kind of echoing, but a lot of stuff that I forgot to mention on the other video. But I just love how he's saying that he never looked twice at a teenager, but yet we have you on video looking twice at a teenager, complimenting her, talking about like you don't know if you should feel guilty. Why she look like that? Basically saying that you're attracted to her after knowing her age. So it's whatever. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not concrete evidence that he is that, but he has done and said some questionable stuff. Somebody had pulled up a lyric that he said on, I believe it's Scorpion or one of his songs, that's alluding to a chick that's old enough, but she's still very young. So maybe like 18, 19 or something like that. And it is questionable. So Kendrick, not all the way 100% with that, but he has some stuff that can kind of back it up in a sense. And it's a lot of holes to poke in Drake's song. One of the major ones is the fact that he pulls out the whole diddling of Kendrick, of Mother I Sober. And it's like, you're saying you're basically saying that Kendrick is putting out hypocritical stuff. Like he's doing and saying hypocritical things while on the track saying and doing hypocritical things. You can't say that Kendrick is this and he ain't got the proof. We're talking facts over here, but yet we have yet to see any proof of what you're saying. And people point out, oh, well, Whitney ain't following Drake and Dave Freeze did this. It's like, so? I mean, he's a friend of the family. Just because he hearts underneath a picture of Whitney and her children doesn't mean that he is involved with her sexually. It doesn't mean that one of the kids is his. He's a friend of the family. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys probably have a brother that is a brother or a sister that is like engaged, or somebody that's engaged to somebody else or whatever, or even a friend that's in a relationship. And like, let's say you follow that person on social media. You may not be close friends with them. You may not be like that close with that person, which in certain cases you really shouldn't. But let's say you're not even with that person. Maybe you just follow them. I'm pretty sure that you like certain pictures. And it's not on some like, oh, I'm scheming. Like I'm ready. Like I find this person attractive. It's just like, oh, you're my brother's fiance, or you're my brother's girlfriend. Or and you cool. Like your pick. Whatever. Maybe it's some food. Like it. Maybe it's her and her child or whatever the heck. I'm gonna like it. Something like that. Or, just whatever. So just because he messages underneath the picture doesn't mean anything. It's like, I get the whole thing of, putting that there. But a lot of people talking about like, oh, he didn't say that it was. But he's carrying a narrative that it is. And I get it, Drake going with the whole thing of like how he was acting around Kendrick going with the thing of how Drake is acting around young children or young girls or whatever, and then carrying that narrative and blowing it up to something else that more than likely or possibly isn't. So Drake is doing the same thing. I get it. But at the end of the day, like one has to be proven. Drake, this has to be proven. You're running with this like it's fact. So you have to prove it. If you're talking about Kendrick needs to prove his stuff, you need to prove your stuff. And that's what people aren't like realizing. And like I said, at the end of the day, this record was not a bone-crushing record. It was a response. We didn't get no new information. Even in Kendrick's, like if you look at Not Like Us, he basically, I ain't gonna say delivered new information, but he tackled something new. He tackled a new subject, a new topic in his record. Drake didn't do that. Drake, he only just claimed this and claimed that or whatever, but where's the proof? That's what we're looking for. We're looking for proof. And as of right now, we have no proof on certain things on either side. But most importantly, on Drake's side, with him claiming, denying all of the stuff that he was denying on there and claiming certain things that he was claiming on that record, we need the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Do you got the pudding? And that's what I'm kind of looking at. It's like Drake lost. And until he could come back, which it doesn't sound like he's coming back. It sounded like he bowing out. Sounding like he's just, he doesn't have anything left. He has no more ammo. So he's backing out of it before it gets any further. Because I feel like Kendrick, he probably had something in the tuck that he was going to deliver. But now, since Drake came out with this record sounding like how he was sounding, I'm pretty sure Kendrick is back penning it. Adding some more stuff to whatever. So he's going to either drop today, tomorrow. He's going to drop sometime soon. But regardless, unless Drake comes back with a fire track, he's cooked. He's done. Like, all hail the King Kendrick. It's not even, I wouldn't even say, I guess you could say it was close, but I look at it wasn't even close. Kendrick outmatched him in like many different aspects. Even some of the stuff that he was saying, some of the stuff that he was claiming. Talked about a guy on the OVO being a sex offender. And lo and behold, It's proven that he is that. This is a guy that you madly support, but yet he's on that list. So it's sad to say that this is what Drake wanted. Drake wanted to bait him. He wanted to get him out there with tailor-made freestyle, saying, nah, you following through. But yet, he's not following through with what he said about Kendrick. It's like, nah, bro. Fuck that shit. Don't end it. Don't throw in the white flag. You following through. If I was Kendrick, I would drag him through the mud. Like, nah, bro, you wanted this. Nah. I lock the door. Like, nah, we going in. Like, you want to stop fighting? Okay, cool. I'm about to beat you black and blue. That's really what it is. It's an onslaught. It's a slaughter. Drake, I don't feel like his career is going to be affected by this. But I do feel like it is going to take some type of hit as far as the perception of Drake at the end of this. He's still going to make money. He's still going to make hits. He's still going to have his fans that ride or die for him. That's sitting there talking about like, oh, he didn't lose. He won. Kendrick lost and and all this stuff. He's still going to have that. He's going to have the brand deals. He's going to continue to make the money like he has always. I don't think that I would be surprised if his career does take a hit. But as of right now, I feel like the public perception of Drake is going to be forever tarnished because back-to-back rap battles he lost in spectacular fashion. More so with Pusha T because that was just crushing. And we don't want to hear him come out and say like, oh yeah, well, I hear something in the tub, but I ain't want to release it like he did with Pusha. It's like, nah, bro. If you got it, release it. Other than that, shut the fuck up and just give him a custom-made crown and hand it to him. Personally. It's crazy. And as far as Gilly the Kid, shut the fuck up, man. As far as Gilly the Kid sounds so fucking stupid. If you were a fucking real MC, you will recognize that was not the end. The Heart Part 6 was not the end. Shut the fuck up. Like, that was, oh, you light-skinned dudes. Shut the fuck up. You dumb as hell. Listen to the fucking record. Then you will see that, nah, that light-skinned motherfucker ain't winning. Man, certain people are just fucking stupid. You go on Twitter, people are saying some of the most stupidest things. Go on Facebook, IG. Drake lost, fair and square. He wanted this. He pushed for it. He wanted it. He wanted to show people that he was the superior MC. And Drake is not for it. Drake, he went toe to toe. Valiant effort. But at the end of the day, he could not hold his own. So bad that he had to bow out on what a lot of people would say a mid track. It's not a career-ending track. It's not. So to leave it right here just shows that you're throwing in a towel. And what do we say about people who throw in the towel? They can't lose. I mean, they can't win. They cannot win. The only person that threw in the towel that I could say came out the winner, say it with me, J. Cole. No matter how you feel about him, I still feel the same way that like he can't claim what he claimed before. He can't talk spicy like he did before about he ripping any MC that he can't do that anymore. But as far as this goes, he was the smartest one out of the three. So I would say he came out unscathed. The only blemish that he's going to have on his record is the fact that he bowed out of a competitive situation that he could have proved himself after talking about it on so many records. And now I feel like people are still going to people still going to fuck with him. Like I said before, they're going to still fuck with him. But as far as him talking like how he used to talk, I don't think he can really talk that way anymore. But other than that, J. Cole is looking like the smartest man on earth right now. He is the smartest man on earth right now. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I got to say about it. I don't know if Kendrick going to drop. I don't know when he's going to drop. Hopefully it drops today. And I'm very curious to hear what he has to say. I think this, besides his response to Drake, the first response, Euphoria, I think this one is really kind of like the most anticipated response because we want to know how he's going to combat what Drake has been saying and if he has some new information and how he's going to like just retort with the Heart Part 6. So I'm looking forward to it. But in any case, that has been my thoughts, well, my extra thoughts on Drake's The Heart Part 6 and the demise of Aubrey Drake Graham, better known as Drake, and him as a rapper. And in question, can we really say Drake legitimately won if he wasn't the only one penning the tracks? If he had other people helping him, can we say definitively that Drake won? Hey. But anyway, give me a like, subscribe if you're not, hit that notification bell for more videos like this, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. So peace out, stay safe, and Drake, you're never too rich to be a PDF file. And to say that, you know, you would have been caught by now, I mean, look at Epstein, look at Diddy. They've been doing stuff for years before they finally got caught. So, yeah, that was kind of like a stupid thing to say. Really, really stupid.